What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm showing an amazing technique for pizza napolitana for that long, low and slow cold fermentation. Now you can use any dough for this technique right here. In the description I'm gonna link hand mixed pizza doughs as well as pre-fermented pizza doughs you can use. Today I'm doing my impasto di riporto that I take an old dough where I utilize the nice flavors that came from that dough and use it in my new dough as it were a pre-ferment. Now the technique we're gonna learn today is called double fermenting your dough. It's where you extend the fermentation of the bulk ferment as well as the proofing of your final dough balls, where they ferment long, low and slow in the refrigerator. So this is for those who really like a high quality Neapolitan pizza dough that is extremely fermented with beautiful color and amazing flavor. This may take 2 to 3 days to make, but don't worry, it is worth it. Now let's get straight into the dough.
No matter what recipe you use of mine, you should find success with pizza making. I happen to be using this impasto di riporto because it is easy when you have an extra dough ball in the fridge. You don't have to go out of your way and make a pre-ferment. So as you can see, I'm adding half of the amount of cold water and all the other ingredients into my dough mixer. I'm going to start mixing on low speed for 3 minutes long. And as soon as your dough comes together and looks like this, that's when you start drizzling in the rest of your water. I drizzle it in around 2 to 3 batches, and I wait until the dough always comes back together. The final dough temperature is around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and look at the extensibility. Now that is a high quality dough, thanks to my beautiful sun mixer. And just like my recently posted video, we're going to go ahead and laminate this dough. I'm lightly oiling my surface, adding the dough, and I'm about to spread it out thin and evenly, and I'm going to fold it for the maximum strength and structure. And it's very important before you do this process to let your dough rest at least 5 minutes when it comes out of the mixer. In your recipes, make sure you source a good 00 flour or even Tipo 0 flour to make pizzas. You want a mix of a W content of around 280 to even 320 doppio vu. So go out of your way, find the best ingredients possible to make the best pizza ever.
All right, now that you made this amazing dough and its temperature is around 75 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm going to transfer this to a bowl, allow it to rest at room temperature, which is about 73 degrees right now. I'll rest it for 1 hour and pop it directly into the fridge.
I would say the main secret and ingredient for this recipe is patience. You want your dough to have the maximum fermentation so that you enjoy the pizza and you discover the differences you see in your dough. Now, for those beginners starting out with pizza making, you cannot simply ball up this dough from the fridge. It's very important to wait at least an hour or two outside the refrigerator, and as you can see, dough will slowly rise and it'll get sticky, which is the perfect texture to ball your dough.
So this right here is step number 1 for double fermenting your pizza dough. As you can see, the long, cold, low and slow bulk fermentation yielded such a flavorful aromatic dough that is nice and fluffy. However, you need to let the dough rest when it comes outside of the fridge for at least 2 hours because we need to warm up the gluten structure. Right now, the dough is between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect for balling up the dough. At this time, you can use a little bit of flour if the dough is too sticky for you. And remember, knock out all of those air bubbles.
Just know that those larger air bubbles you find in your dough when balling up are not beneficial to the end result of your pizza. Actually, those big air bubbles will result in big charred bubbles on your pizza crust, and honestly, that's not good. Instead, you want very small micro bubbles that ferment throughout your pizza dough. This is the true fermentation. Not to mention, if there are too many irregular bubbles inside the dough, that will result in a badly stretched pizza and you might actually get a hole later on in the process. If you have also noticed, whenever I ferment the dough in any container, I always lightly oil it.
Now let's rest these at room temperature for 30 minutes and then go right into the fridge for a long and slow cold fermentation for at least 24 to 48 hours and wait until you see the results. Okay everyone, welcome to the baking day. This is the end of our double fermentation, and as you can see, the dough is now within 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It is perfect to bake your pizza. It took around 1 hour at room temperature to warm up, and now it's ready to bake.
To view the full schedule of my dough fermentation, don't worry, visit the description down below. It'll show you exactly how and when I took out the dough from the fridge, etc., etc. And when stretching, remember, you need to flour the dough and actually press it into the table. What you're doing here is flattening down the gluten structure. This way, instead of just stretching it right off the bat, you might get a tear in the dough. But the pressing process really strengthens the gluten. This way, the dough won't rip. This right here is my easy pizza peel. I've never lost a pizza ever due to this pizza launcher right here. You don't have to worry about flouring the bottom side of the pizza. You don't have to worry about shoving the pizza into the oven. This thing does it with ease. And this Tipo oven right here is such a perfect baking device for Neapolitan pizza. I just give it a 180 degree turn with a total bake of around 90 seconds, and look at the beautiful results. The crust right here has amazing leoparding on top, and the caramelization and color of the overall crust is beautifully brown. The toppings are melted to perfection. I'm very happy with this Neapolitan pizza.
So I want you all to know that this pizza right here has the optimal fermentation you need for pizza napoletana. Not only is the fermentation optimal, the leoparding is something very special with this pizza right here. Now let me show you the beauty of the crumb structure.
I wish you could feel the texture of this crust. I can't wait for you to try this recipe. The inside is just light and fluffy. The outside is this thin, crisp, and brittle structure.
So if you really want to level up your Neapolitan pizza making game, use this technique right here. I'm going to link the entire recipe and method in the description. Now's the time. We're going to start making the best Neapolitan pizza on YouTube.
Due to the long cold fermentation of this dough, you can taste the beauty and complexity of the flours and grain in this pizza dough crust. I'm super happy I got to show you this contemporary Neapolitan pizza technique. I hope you use it, and I'll see you in the next video.